Thank you for joining us. I'm John Razimus, and this is Hoax Hunter. Pai Nei, specifically telekinesis, the ability to move objects with your mind. That's what this episode will focus on. Now, I came across a guy named John Chang, also known as Dynamo Jack, or DJ as he likes to be called, and he's definitely a fascinating individual. There is video of him lighting a newspaper on fire, and a lot of people are really excited about him being the first pyrokinesis video evidence in the world, but I'm not so interested in the pyrokinesis. I'm interested in the telekinesis, moving objects with an invisible force or with your mind. There's a guy named Jim McMillan. There's a video of Jim McMillan knocking over 3 empty VHS cardboard boxes, and knocking these 3 objects over consistently, 2 times in a row on video. When I saw this video, it immediately reminded me of first-hand experience of a poltergeist that haunted my room for 6 months when I was living in a room a couple years ago. The entity that haunted my room, it pretty much had a limit of how much it could knock over. And these 3 VHS cardboard boxes are the limit that the poltergeist that haunted my room for 6 months was able to knock over. So that's why I immediately thought, that it's probably a poltergeist doing this, / demon. And a lot of people don't believe in demons. A lot of people don't believe in poltergeists. And it's understandable. If you do not believe in poltergeists, if you do not believe in demons, I totally understand. It's because you've never encountered one. This episode is not about me, though. This episode is about John Chang and his ability to knock over objects with supposedly his mind. But Jim McMillan became a student of John Chang. I believe the first Western student of John Chang. So he trained in the art of Pai. The force field that John Chang claims can knock over these objects is a certain type of chi power, specifically yin chi. John Chang meditates to an extreme degree and focuses all of his yin and yang chi in a perfect cycle with the ability to knock over objects, light newspapers on fire, heal people. John Chang professionally healed people in his village, in his neighborhood. He became famous. He became Dynamo Jack. It's the way he sustained his living is by healing people. He shot a force field out of his hands, which would be like electrotherapy, I guess. Very interesting. I can't vouch for any of that, but I can vouch for a great possibility that this is authentic poltergeist activity. I wasn't going to make this video if I didn't have more than just me thinking and assuming it's poltergeist activity, until I listened to an interview by this student, Jim McMillan. Here is a tiny excerpt of Jim McMillan talking about the power that moved these VHS cardboard boxes down.
There is a short video clip on YouTube already of a gentleman. You see him from the back. He apparently is undergoing testing with John Chang, and he is knocking a couple of, looks like cardboard boxes from a distance. He's knocking them over, and it's purportedly you. I mean, for the record, is this you in the video?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and when did that occur?
That was in 2000. Actually, I visited with John twice because he had come to visit his daughter. Once was in June, and then the next time he came was in November. But the June one was the actual filming there, and those were 3 VHS boxes that he had put up there.
Okay, and this was part of the testing to get to level what?
This was to pass your second level.
Okay, yes.
So now that I passed, then you go on to the next level and you train until you pass that one. So anyways, at this level, I am considered in the Mopai system to be at the highest gang development.
Okay. When you did the testing, is it accurate to say that Chang, for lack of a better word, assisted you? That he gave some of his energy to your other half?
Oh, okay. Yes. How it works is my yin isn't balanced or developed properly yet, you test, you're actually utilizing some of his yin energy because it emanates beyond his body. It probably projects, I don't know, 15, 20 feet. I can't tell you exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a long story. John's teacher, Lao, had passed away, and John had needed to continue talking with him and didn't realize that he had finally moved on to some other realm, and he kept trying to get a hold of him, and he never would respond. And then his ancestor spirit, the Grand Master, Mei Yang Chen, showed up unexpectedly and told John in no uncertain terms that what he was doing wrong, and reminded him of the things that he had promised and so on. And for whatever reason, I have no idea why, but John continued to ignore that and continued teaching me, as well as accepting a few more Westerners. John has had some really strange events that have occurred where he actually goes into a meditative state, and he, I guess, goes into an out-of-body experience and visits spirits, and he communicates with them. He doesn't do that so much anymore, I found out, because for obvious reasons that he was having trouble with his ancestor spirit, and so he just wasn't calling on them because I guess he had some repercussions that were not fun. But he would actually have discussions with these alleged spirits that had passed away and were still roaming the earth. One of them that I recall offhand was he was some prior king or emperor or something that had killed. Let me back up a little bit. John told me that when someone dies and before they had died they had killed anybody, if they had killed anybody, it's something like 10 years for each person that they have to stay on Earth to make retribution or recompense, or for their crime. And this prince or king had been on Earth allegedly over, I don't know, a few thousand years because he had supposedly killed so many people. And but those are kind of profound situations. I, however, don't have the same belief that they are, spirits from the dead. I believe that they're demons, demonic, taking on the appearance of dead people, because basically from the fact that they want to have association, because humans have many attributes they can't have, and so they seek to do that in ways of trying to appear as human. And the other aspect to that, they try. I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but it sort of leads me into that. These spirits seek your yin energy because they just don't have enough, and so they're trying to get that. And John always said, if you ever have any contact with a spirit, never trust them, because they're always trying to scheme in some way to extract the yin from you, and they have all different ways of doing that.
So in that interview, Jim McMillan admitted that it was a demon knocking over those cardboard boxes, and that the power that John Chang had was from meditation through spirits. He would go into the astral plane, communicate with spirits, the exact same process found in black magic. In black magic, the sorcerer will meditate, go into the astral plane, communicate with a spirit or multiple spirits, and then go back into their body, or perhaps never leave their body. There are different ways to do it. There's an out-of-body version. There's simply a astral projection type version. They can all be jumbled and confused as the same thing. John Chang admitted to Jim McMillan, don't trust the spirits. They'll try to trick you, and they'll try to steal your yin chi, because they don't have much yin chi, and you have a lot, and they want to steal it from you. They're deceptive. Watch out. Spirits are deceptive. They'll try to trick you. That is John Chang talking about spirits, the very same spirits that are his masters. He claims are his dead spirit masters. But Jim McMillan, John Chang's student, came to the conclusion that these were not human passed-on dead masters. They were demons posing as dead human masters. And demons are good at tricking. Their whole nature is to trick and to fool, and perhaps to steal some type of energy. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought it was a fascinating story.
Lebih kurang 40. It's good. It's good. Ini bagus. Tadi
I think this video is proof of this very rare story of a man who is a conduit to a certain extent, to an extreme extent, a conduit with some type of spirit energy directly given to him through demons. I think the demons knocked over everything. I think the demons perform every feat for John Chang, tricking John Chang into thinking he even has it. I don't think John Chang has the spirit power as much as the demons around him are giving it to him temporarily to trick people. Jim McMillan talks about some of the extreme feats John Chang has achieved, such as jumping over his house. Even if his house is one story, no one can jump over a one-story house, but supposedly John Chang can meditate for a week and then jump over his house. So he can't achieve levitation, but he can achieve almost no gravity, like a moonwalk. And John Chang can supposedly hold water with his chi power, hold water in a cup, turn that cup upside down, and the water will stay in the cup. And someone put a matchstick in that cup, and the water was still in the cup, and he would move his hand and the water would fall. That's extremely unusual. I wish we had that on camera. But I do believe John Chang is an authentic account of demon power, spirit power, negative entity power, but he is a very unusual conduit for that power. So if you meditated exactly like John Chang meditated, if you did everything John Chang did, and you couldn't achieve what he has achieved, it's because he's a special conduit. Some people are born with that special conduit ability, some are not. I ask you, the viewer, to come to your own conclusion, but obviously I have my conclusions and my biases. But my biases are due to first-hand personal experience, which I believe is extremely rare and totally out of the ordinary, very unusual compared to people that haven't had first-hand experience with a poltergeist. The Charlie game? By now you've probably all seen the Charlie game, where you have a pencil, another pencil. I have a video about it. There's a lot of videos out there about it. And you ask Charlie to the spirit to move the pencils around. And this is apparently an ancient trick, an ancient ceremony, ritual, trick, whatever you want to call it. The people in Indonesia famously have a kris on top of the kris case, and just like the pencils, spirits cause the kris, which is like a dagger, it's like a wavy dagger, to move, exactly like the pencils. So John Chang demonstrated this trick way before he was trendy and popular. So I thought that was an interesting connection between the Charlie game and John Chang performing telekinesis, but really it's simply a spirit moving it. And in the case of the kris moving on the case, John Chang admitted it definitely is a spirit moving it. So that's one instance of John Chang admitting a spirit is moving it. Why wouldn't he believe it's always a spirit moving it? I believe John Chang did admit a spirit did move the boxes to a certain extent. Like a spirit is present, John Chang is present, and the student really didn't knock it over. The energy from John Chang and the energy from the spirit helped the process. But I would say more clearly, the spirit did everything, and John Chang and the student didn't do anything. The student went, "Huh!" But the spirit knocked it over. I mean, it doesn't take any dedication to have a spirit knock something over, except to get the trust of that spirit. So if you don't have the trust of the entity, you're not going to be able to get it to knock things over and help you out. Which brings me to Mike Super, the magician, who does have a spirit, he claims, help him with magic tricks, which I believe is an extremely rare thing. So I'm going to continue to see if there's any new information on John Chang, but I believe he is retired. I believe he's out of the spotlight, doesn't want anything to do with documentaries or interviewers, and he has cut off Western students. But hopefully there's a student out there that can bring more to light, or even this Jim McMillan guy. Hopefully we can get more information out of him. But I'll continue to research telekinesis and John Chang, Pai Nei, and any type of chi energy concentration techniques, but I don't believe it's any type of martial art. I do believe it is simply a negative entity with the ability to move objects. That's my opinion. I respect the opinions of others, and if you disagree with me, feel free to post a comment in the comments section. Until next time, I thank you for watching. This has been John Razimus with Hoax Hunter. Be seeing you.